Hello, friends. This is Mike, and welcome to another session of Trading in the Trenches. Well, I came on today because I wanted to introduce you to a little bit of what I'm doing and how I do this thing. We are going to look today at scalping, and I'm going to put on some live trades for you. So we might be winning some, losing some. We'll just see what happens. But what I want to do first is show you basically how I go about trading. Now, right now, I have on my screen, this is generally how my screen looks when I trade. Down here, these two indicators, I rarely use them. So I can actually remove them, but it depends on the market phase. I might look to these to get a little indication of the strength of the market. And when the market gets into one of these consolidated patterns, then I'll look into my stochastics to pick the tops and the bottoms and be able to go into a range type of uh, strategies whereby I'd be able to pick up some easy money. So that's what I have here. But once again, I don't use these much. Primarily, what I'm using here, I'm using volume profile and my projection box. See, this is a projection box. We'll talk about this in a moment. But first things first. Usually at the beginning of the day, I like to go in and take a quick look at a larger view of the market. Now here I just have some, it's just a different way of looking at the market, some moving averages and how they're crossing. And this is another method that I use, another trading method that I use. So this chart is set up for that trading method. So what I take a look at this and try to get a feel for where is the market? Where is it right now? Based on where it's been, previous days. You can see all the way May 31st. Today is June 6th. So I'm getting a view of what the market is doing. I can see that the market came up, hit this high. It turned around. Now, if I'm using my RSI, I can see that we ended up with this big wave here, sputtering out. This wave tried to test it, almost came to the top, set up like a convergence or a divergence pattern. And RSI told me we were out of steam, and so we should look to short the market. And that's basically where we've been ever since. We've shortened this market. It's gone down, playing around. This is still, this has not gone above this, so it's just a higher low. The top of a wave, and then it got down here and looked like a wave 4 pattern where we get some side activity. We call this a range trade. This is where if I was down in the lower time frames, I would go into a range mode and try to see what I can figure out and get from the market there. But I like to sit and see what's going on. Then I go into another session where I open up with this, and then I look at my real tools. My real tools is volume profile. Volume profile is one of the key tools that I use. Now let me show you, I have this where you stretch it out. Now different platforms, you can find a volume profile online. So it's nothing hard to find. So you get a volume profile that, I like this because I can move it, and based on the highlight between, right now I have it set to create a profile from the activity between the two lines. So if I stretch the lines, it'll stretch my profile information. So I get a chance to see, is there any market activity that warrants closer look? And that's what I like to stretch this thing out and see, a good range of maybe 1 or 2 days, at least the previous day, to see what happened in the previous day volume-wise. Were there any institutional traders in the market moving price, or was it one of those little short one distribution day where the market basically spent the whole day going sideways in a range? So that's what we see. Primarily, this is what we're seeing on, this was Friday, June 3rd. Today is June 6th, Monday, where I am. And here's what the market did. If I was to take this and stretch it down to here, somehow my market profile just went dead on me for some reason. I don't know when my feed just left. All right, let's just play with this for a moment to see whether we can get the profile to start again, and then set it back for between the lines. Last minute, between the lines. It's somehow, all right, let's see, will it work with this now? Right. Pardon me for a moment as I play with, okay, let's see now. All right, so once again, let's see whether we can get this data to look at. All right, so this was a Friday information, and I like to look at this to help me to see where are some hot spots that I have to consider for today's activity. And these hot spots, if you look at my volume profile, if you don't know volume profile very well, take a look at one of my videos coming up, and I'll focus a little bit more on volume profile. Or you can look, there's videos all over the internet. You can look at YouTube and find volume profile. There's some people who do some really good job showing and explaining how this thing works. But basically, these lines extend, and the lines that extend the most are the actual prices where volume kicked in and you had a good insertion of volume. And so that tends to be an area where prices was bought and sold at a higher intensity than other prices, especially in prices in this range here. So at this top node here, this is a volume node. So in this node, we can see the main significant price was right here at, what is it, 107.548, $1.7548, okay? So that right there is a price I want to consider if the market moves today in that area, or momentum start moving in that area. I can look to this to be a good target for that. Now also, other prices, so the price fell below there and then down in here. This price range became a price where buyers and sellers thought this was a fair price, so there was a fair amount of volume that went in at that price, and you can sort of see how that price, different price throughout the day came down to that area. So these areas tend to be magnets. So when momentum moves price in the direction of these, then you can set these as targets. So this is what I like to use in scalping. I like to use this to see where price currently is and where is momentum going. And if there's any area on my volume profile where where there were fair prices in the past, then the market tends to want to go there. And so I'll use them to help me to find a good target or a place to get in, or of course, as I said, a target place to get out. So that's what we're looking at. So here's the market profile. I'll take a look at that, identify key areas. These lines right here, I will draw these lines to help me to see where prices may be today. And when price begin to move into those areas, then I know these are key areas that were considered good prices by both buyers and sellers. So the market remembers. So once it get back to these areas, it will find these, and that's what I'm talking about. And I'll use that. So we'll look at that a little bit. So I can move around, and if I was to insert my horizontal line, say I would take and put a line right here, then I'll go and put in another line. I will put it one right here, then I'll put in another line, horizontal line, and the yellow line right here, I'll put that in, okay? So what I'm doing, I'm looking at the previous day and finding these key areas and highlighting them so I can pay attention when price gets to them today. So right in here would be a price where the market sort of stopped at. And down in here, this line, the green line, my market profile is already creating that as a green line, which is a key line to remember. So I'll put a line on top of that, all right, which is going to be drowned out by market profiles line, but that's okay. Ooh, I entered in a trade. accidentally. Now let's see here. So right here, this is what I have going on. This is telling me right now I'm at a loss. I entered a trade not knowing what I was doing because I was trying to deselect these lines right here, and I end up getting into a trade. So that's not what you really want to do, and that's why oftentimes I don't trade while I'm talking, because tend to not be focused the way I should. But this, hopefully, I don't even know what we have going on buying or selling. Let's take a moment and see where we are. We are buying. We have 2 orders that we went in to buy, and the market is now going in the other direction. So let's just hold that in mind and see. Let's go back and look. See, buying. Price is down here. We bought in right there. So let's see. Wow. The price may bounce back up. As soon as it bounces back up into profit, I'll be taking that profit back off the table. So I ended up in a trade without even knowing. I wasn't planned, but it looks like it's going to give me a little bit of profit. So there you go. It bounced in and jumped right back through. But we're gonna let it go into some profit, and soon as it does, I'll take it off the table, and then we'll keep on going. But as we're doing that, we'll keep an eye on that as I can, as we're talking. But yeah, this is the setup. This is what I like to do. I have my lines in here now, so now I know as the market moves, if it gets to these price levels, then I know what to do and how to adjust for where I am. So right now, I'm in this. We're down here. Our price is below this key level here, so hopefully it will bounce back up because right now we had some whipsaw activity here where wow, prices is really trying to move away from me. I don't like that. But we had some whipping activity here where it went up. The buyers came in and pushed the price up. It went to this level here. Sellers came in and rejected it, and that's what I'm dealing with right now, a rejection. And I don't like that. It looks like it's going to try to come down to my stop loss. Oh boy. So it's going to force me into trying to protect this. Let's just see how much it's going to want to do this. Okay. I'm going to adjust my screen so I can have my tools here that I need to work on. It's going to bounce back up here now and retest this level. And that's where I'm going to be camping out, trying to get some profit off the table to move on with this. So right here, what you're looking at here, these are buttons that I've created for my own scalping activities that I like to do. I don't usually like to use MetaTrader's price buying and selling buttons over here because my eyes have to be over here when the activity is here. So I put this here so I can pretty much stay kind of close to where the action is. Now these buttons here, this is, if I want to create pending orders, I'll talk about the setup here later with these in a different session. But these are buttons that I use if I'm putting in pending orders or if I am taking my profit. This would be my all profit. So close all profit orders. If I click on that, if I have any orders, open orders that are at a profit, it'll take them off the table automatically for me instead of me having to do them manually one by one. So I have that set up, so as soon as that happens, you'll see me clicking on that, and then price goes away or changes according to whatever orders are open that are not yet at profit. So right now we do know we have 2 orders in, I think, at the same price. Slightly off by 1 pipette. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But price is moving back up into that range. So I'm going to adjust this down so that I can easily click on it without any interference with the other objects. All right, so this is what we're doing. So we'll get a profit off of this unless the market really is testing a retracement that is going to now fall all the way back through. But this wick right here I don't know whether this is going to hold or not because it was, you know, already saw its activity going up and then that was rejected. So we're currently here. So this is a danger zone. So we're going to see what's going to happen. All right. Now, what I generally do when I find myself in a situation like this, if the momentum of the market is truly moving away from me, I ramp up, I increase my volume, and then I will enter a trade in the direction of momentum in order to be able to use like a martingale type of approach to hedge this loss and eventually find profit that I can then clear this off with. So I might have to do that like coming up right now. So what I'll do here is move this box out of the way. So now let me increase this. I know I'm in at 5, so if I go in by 25, 35, 45. All right. So now if I was to click on this to sell or this to buy, depends on what the market is going to do, then I will be able to go in with a lot size of 45 compared to the current lot sizes, which are 2 at 5. We have 2 at 5. So that's what I'll do to clearly, the price doesn't have to move very far for me to be able to cover those up. And then you might see what I do if I have to do that. All right. Price is bouncing around. I'm not really sure, but I already see that it went further below the previous bar. So that could be a sign that it's still want to push this price down. And I'm not liking that. So I'm going to let price go up again. But now I have to reset my screen so I can see my orders here. So now let me readjust my screen so we can see what's going on. Okay, so here we are. Price is trying to go downward. We're at a 15-minute time frame here. We have 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes left on it. Price already went up, hit that key level, and now it's bouncing off of that, which is a bad sign for me getting any profit off of these. Unless the buyers want to jump in and rescue me, the market may be showing me that it's ready to continue this downtrending. So I might have to put something in just to start taking some profit off of this. $595 at a loss, just for me trying to show you how I put my lines on the chart. But it's all good, you know. I'm already far ahead on today's trades, so it's okay if I take a loss on this. All right, I'm about ready to scale in because it's going to move. It's going to move in. So now I'm scaled in. I put in 4 cells at 45 lots each. So now as price start moving down, we'll be able to see right now I'm sitting at a 970. It's going to start coming in, so I need to make some space for this to start coming in. Look, I'm at $4,000 loss right now. Let's let price come back down. Put these into profit. We'll close them out. Call it a day. Okay, as it gets close, I gotta make sure this is not gonna. I'm gonna move this up here so that price lines won't interfere with me clicking on my button. So we're at 3,000, 28.40, 18.20, 14.80. As soon as we get into profit, see now we're starting to get into profit. Now we're right at a net $50 profit. So what I want to do is close these here out. So now we're going to start moving this profit down further. 675, 855. Come on, baby, you got to go back down there. So this is how I basically scale out losing trades. Okay, I just took 1,035 off the table. Now let's see how we compared. 795. 795 was the loss, and the cover that I put in came to 2, 4, 6, 7, 850, 920, 945. So I end up with roughly $200 more than I lost. So that's what I generally do. If I'm going to lose something, I'll scale in because I can see momentum is carrying and it's going down to this price level here. So what I can do right now is come in here and hit this and go for a little bit more because we see that it is approaching this price level, which is a very good price level where prices traded in the previous day last week, and buyers and sellers were pretty happy at this price. So I'm imagining now that it's going to get me to this price. So I'll sit here and scalp a little bit more off of this trade as momentum takes me down, and we'll see how that works when we get there. Okay, so that's basically how we do this. So I'm using these price levels from market volume profile to help me out. Look, we got 220, 450. So I took another 450. Took another 450 and it's sitting right there on that line. You see, that's how I use market profile to help me know where the market is going. And when price and momentum start moving towards those levels, I go in and I go in heavy, and sometimes a whole lot heavier than 45 lots. So, but I'm here showing you what I'm doing. You saw I went into a trade, 2 trades accidentally. The market never gave me any benefit from that, so I had to cover it. And a scalper is what we do. So as long as we can see where the market is going, and there's enough volatility that's going to get us there according to the time frame we like to work with, we go ahead and we do that. And that's what you need to see. So you got a chance to see me accidentally go into some trades. The market went away from me, never gave me any profit on them. I had to take a loss on those 2 trades, but I covered them, and then I showed you how we can use market profile to set good price targets for us. Now, if the price continues to fall below this, the question is, where is it going to go? That is when I open my chart up again and go further into the past to see other places where the market went. Now, right now, we have another area in the previous two more prices where it very easily should or could go to. If momentum continues and it falls below this, then more than likely this price line right here will be a good price line. And then if it goes to this, then I don't imagine, unless something goes on that really going to juice the market and going to make it want to fall deeper, then at this point, I think it would slow up, because this will be a slippery slope right here. Once it go below this, it will go big jumps, unless the market wants to stop and start painting in the areas here. So what am I saying, painting in? Let me stretch volume profile out to this level here so we can see. You see this high value point right here? And this high value point between these, this is a gap. This is a big gap. So if we call it filling in the gap, that means if price falls into this range here, it may do this kind of side activity like this to fill in this area, bouncing between these high points. Because as it stands right now, there's some prices in here that the buyers and sellers were not in agreement on. So the buyers and sellers remember that. So if the price was to come through here with momentum, it'll fall through this. That's why sometimes you see these long candles. It's falling through areas where there's low activity, where buyers and sellers were not in consensus, and therefore the market is moving to find value. And oftentimes it goes to where it found value in previous sessions. And that's why market profile is so invaluable if you know how to use it. And I'm showing you how to use it for scalping, but you can use it for longer term trades as well. You can stretch this thing out as far as you want and see as many days as you want to see where the real hot spots. And if we was to do that, you can see volume over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 8 days, most of your volume fell in this price range right here. So the market likes this price range. But now the market is moving, and look where it's going. Look where it's going. I'm going to go and sell. I'm going to make this a smaller, if I can. Oh man. Price is moving down. It's going to hit this level here. So usually, all right, 45. Let's go back in. Let's see what we got. $405 already. Where's my 630? Look at that. 630. And look where price is. Price hit the line that I told you. And now, if momentum carries, it's going to go down to this next line. So you get to see that live as we're going. And I wanted to, what I was trying to do is reduce my lot size. Okay, reduce my lot size. Because now when it gets into these, come on. Oh, come on now. With all these objects on the screen, sometimes you lose it, you just don't. Okay. I'm trying to get it down to a smaller lot size. All right, $5 is good enough. All right, it bounced off of this. It bounced off of this, and we stretch out. Okay. It hit, and it's bouncing. Now, what I would like to do is set up, I'll show you. I have too many things on my screen right now, and this terminal is acting slow. I click on it, yeah, you can see there's something going on my terminal now, which is probably because there's a lot of volatility. And this is what frustrates me sometimes with the brokers. They will juice up their terminal and cause it to stall and do different things when volume gets to a point where they expect. So I'm kind of concerned now because when I see that kind of thing, it's telling me that the liquidity partners and the brokers are probably looking at some big activity that might be happening sometime soon, and therefore they're causing the terminal to be stalled out. Look, I'm clicking on my button and nothing happened. I'm wondering if I'm even connected. Yeah, milliseconds is kind of. See, and usually what I find out is when the terminal is being juiced. I call it juice because I know brokers have 6 settings that they put on their terminals so that they can modify. They can call slippages. They can call the spread, of course, the spread and change. They also can stop you and stall you and cause your buttons to not work or to hesitate. So they can put a delay on the activity of clicking. By the time you click it and it actually is executed, they can play with that. So that's what I'm seeing right now. These buttons, see, to do this, no problem, but to click on my actual buttons, it's a challenge. Okay, so, and notice also my terminal is basically stalled. The clock is stalled. My clock is not, it's not moving. So my terminal right now is stalled. And so there's nothing I can do. And so at this point, I guess what I should do is say, I'll see you again on another trade when we go live in the trenches. This is me, Mike. Look for me again. I'm going to show you some more live trading. So you learn how to use this market profile. And if you want to set up your trade to do some of these things that you saw me do today, look at these numbers. If these numbers are numbers that's interesting to you, we can show you how you can do this. And of course, I've earned a lot of profit. And today, just today, this is my take for today. Using what you saw me do today, this is what I've been able to do. Let me just show you this on your way out. Here's my transactions from the start of the day. And this is the time, the date right here. So all of this is the 6th of June. So you can see that's the transactions that I've had all day. Some small, some large, depends on what's going on, what I'm seeing, and what's happening. A couple of times I had to cover my trades, like down in here. Market got away from me, and I had to go in and cover my trades to be able to get back. So you can see all this activity here is causing me to cover up the losses that I had to take right here. But just as you saw me earlier in the trade, I had about 6 trades, 2, 4, 6, 7 trades open because the market looked like it was setting up to go in a direction. But something had happened and the market went against me. So I went and covered myself with these trades here. So you can see these trades here begin to cover the losses here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and this right here is 18, 19, 22, 27, so $12,000. $12,000. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got it back by covering this. So you can see that's what I do. It doesn't always work out exactly like this, but this is the way I try to do it. If I get a loss, I use a nightingale type of approach to cover the losses with my next wins. And you can see I've been on a streak of profit winning where my lot size stayed at that higher lot because the market was moving and I was moving with the trend as market profile was actually helping me to see how to get in and out. And once again, if you look at my time on these, I don't stay very long in these trades. Look, 636, 638, out at 638. So these all came in. You can see what I was covering here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades went in all at the same time. And they went and they all closed out at about the same time. 638, 58 something. So you can see that's what I do. Sometimes covering trades. And let's see the amount here. Okay, so that's what you get the chance to see. And then, of course, once I was satisfied with what was happening in the market started to slow up, I scaled my lot size back down and then trade based on that. And look way down to this right here. and then started making trades, more safer trades, until the market was showing that it was ready to move in a predictable way, and then I jump and go a little heavy on that. So that's how I can get and do these types of trades. There's a loss here, so I have once again have to cover myself. Look what's going on. These things are going in all about the same time to cover this loss right here. Then I had another loss. So this information, the value of these trades right here covered this. Look, this is 725. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 490, 590, 690, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So if you look at these trades right here, 75, 150, 225, 275, 325, 425, 500, 650, 725. So this right here was an exact cover. Exact. And then I hit again, and the market moved against it again, and we end up with this. But anyway, you can see I covered myself. I increased my lot size to really juice this thing up and get this loss back under cover. So, and then I went back down because the market then moved against me, and I had to do this. So I got back to a lower lot size and traded until we came online, and you saw me doing these trades right here. These are the two trades where I got in by accident, and I had to go in and cover. So you can see this is what I did all day. Trade it as the market was giving me something, would move against me, cover myself. That's what I do. Now, if that doesn't resonate with how you want to trade, that's fine. According to your own habit, your own style, your own personality, find your way. If you want to be safer than what you see I'm doing, great. But I have 30 years of experience of seeing these charts. So this is how I can make money like this. Look at this. Custom period. Today is the 6th. Most of last week I didn't trade. So let's say on I tell you what, let's look at all my history and I see when the next day I traded. That's 3 months. Okay. From the 6th, the last, okay, so 5/30, so May 30 was the last day I traded before today. So let's go and take a look at how much I did on May 30. Custom period. May 30 to May 30. On that day, 16,000. The day prior to that, May 29. This is just to show you, May 27. This is just to show you what I'm out here doing. So if you want to pay attention to what I'm doing, you can find that look, I mean, hey, today I'm at 26, but you know, to make $12,000 in a day, who would not do that? So you can see I'm out here doing something. And so my total profit for, let's show you my total history. I started this, trading this on April the 22nd. Today is June the 6th. The total profit that I've earned on this account for basically a month. This is end of April. So for like 1 month of trading, $410,000. So this is just so you can see what I'm doing. And yes, I lose some trades, but I win more than I lose. And this is what I want to show you. By me getting in the trench and showing you what I'm doing, I will be explaining to you why I do what I do, so you can get a jump start, especially if you're a new trader. You can get a jump start on some of the things you can be looking at when you're trading. And if you do it as I do it, of course, you will not use large, high lot sizes. If you're starting off, I recommend you go to 0.01. So whatever happens, nothing heavy is going to hurt you. Nothing will hurt you, but at least you'll get in and you'll get your experience to be able to see some of the things going on, pull the trigger, and then let it get you profit, and then pull the trigger again, take your profit off the table, and wait for the next setup. That's what I want you to be able to learn how to do. And when you see the charts, the way I see the charts, you will then begin to see profits roll into your pocket, just as you see happening here. So that's what I want to show you for today, since my chart here is all, I don't know if my buttons are still going to work or not. Yeah, my chart is really, oh, let me see, hide. Yeah, it still doesn't want to use my button. So, okay, I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.